welcome from Manchester, Zelfa Barrett.
Oh, lovely body.
Oh, what a cracking left hook. Great shot to the body, and that has gone right through and down to the boots.
Mancunian super featherweight Zelfa Barrett is a young man on a mission to get to the elite level of world boxing, and whose exciting talent has been showcased on BoxNation in recent weeks. The latest step in Zelfa's development came at Gosforth Park Racetrack in Newcastle on the Black Flash promotional card last Saturday night. This well-attended Christmas dinner show also featured Zelfa's big punching light heavyweight cousin, Lyndon Arthur. Barrett weighed in for his sixth rounder against Rafael Castillo at his Manchester training base, before the BoxNation cameras followed him up to the northeast to find out more about the self-styled Brown Flash.
In terms of your unbeaten record at the moment, I mean, just talk me through the last few fights. I mean, do you feel you're learning, you're progressing?
Yeah, of course. I'm learning in the gym, and in my fights, it's just the result of what I've been learning. Like, I've been getting great sparring, Anthony Crawler, Scott Quigg. I've been sparring all like the elites, so I learn in the gym, and then the fight is where I perform what I have to do. But I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I won't change my training for anything.
That must give you great confidence working with those guys.
Of course, it gives me great confidence because I've been asked to spar them, you know what I mean, and I'm giving them good work, and I'm their constant sparring partner, so I'm doing something right.
Obviously, you'll learn off them, but does it also give you a slight gauge where you are in your career?
Yeah, of course, because I'm in a ring with a world champion or an ex-world champion or fighting for a world title, and I've just had 13 fights. You know what I mean? And they've got the ability to pay anyone around the world to get anyone, and they're getting me. So that just shows what we're doing as a team is paying off.
Now, so far in the ring, you've looked very, very impressive, but for people who have maybe not seen you in the flesh or on television, what's Zelfa Barrett about? What do you do well in the ring?
I think very well, that's all I can say. I just do what, like I say, what Brucey, he's formless, you know what I mean? He's like, well, I just adjust to everything. I don't have a style, I don't have a special punch, I don't have nothing, I just use my mind, and that just brings me forward.
I always think that you're holding the ring when you're there.
Zelfa's career is being carefully guided by his uncle, Pat Barrett, the former British and European light welterweight champion of the early 90s. He works in tandem with ex-pro and fellow coach, Paulie De Silva. But what does his illustrious uncle make of young Zelfa's progress so far?
He's learning the game good. He doesn't just go in there looking for the knockouts. He's learning now to get ready for his future, really, for when he fights the big fights, like title fights. So basically, this is his apprenticeship, and even though he's come from the amateurs, and you say that was your apprentice, he's still in his apprentice stage. He's still learning. He's learning how to use the jab, he's learning how to throw combination, he's learning how to work off the jab. You know, every fight with Zelfa he's learning. If you watch one fight to another, you never see the same Zelfa. So, you know, by the time we do fight for a title, Zelfa's going to be very hard to read, because you get ready for him for one fight and you say, oh, well, I beat him. My job as a trainer then is to be a good trainer, to say, hey, you did that, you did that. So, no, we're not going to fight like that again. We're going to do this. So it's going to be hard to find the blueprint to beat Zelfa.
I don't try to be like my uncle. That's the difference between some fighters who try and follow their uncle's name or their dad's name or whatever. I'm Zelfa Barrett, born 1993 in Crumpsall, Manchester. So I'm not him. So I'm me. So, and I thrive with pressure. So if people expect it, they'll hopefully, God give me strength. Like, I'm better than my uncle, and I don't mean that in a horrible way. He wants me to be better than him. You know what I mean? So like we do with the teamwork with Paulie and Pat. That's the goal, to become a world champion.
While Zelfa Barrett was top of the bill, the Newcastle show kicked off with another young fighter from the Black Flash promotional camp. Liverpool's Marcel Braithwaite was having only his second professional outing, but struggled to find his best form, even though he did enough to edge out the rugged Yorkshireman Craig Derbyshire. Next up from the Collyhurst and Moston gym contingent was Lyndon Arthur, who was taking on his third opponent in the professional ranks, this time the experienced and usually durable Elvis Doobie.
I'm going to box to instructions and I'm going to box down my jab. I'm going to box with movement and I'm going to see what happens. Should be exciting.
For those who haven't seen you yet, what do you do well in the ring?
I jab well, I move well, and I punch with a bit of power. Yeah.
After an opening round of finding his range and moving fluently, Lyndon Arthur's heavy artillery began to be unleashed in the second. Despite Elvis Doobie's renowned durability and the fact that he was in survival mode behind the guard, the Derby man wasn't able to withstand the heavier shots coming his way. Doobie was initially sunk with a well-disguised uppercut and then overwhelmed by a sustained follow-up attack, finished with a big right hand.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For a man in only his third paid outing, this was an excellent stoppage for Lyndon Arthur, who looks like he could be a real force to be reckoned with in the domestic light heavyweight division. While Lyndon soaked up the applause, it was a quiet moment of reflection for Zelfa backstage. Meanwhile, next into the arena at Newcastle was another super featherweight, Jamie Humble, who outclassed a tough Lithuanian, Simas Volosinas, but had to go the full trip to claim his second win as a pro. Backstage, it was time to move into fight mode as the business end of the evening approached. Barrett's opponent, Spanish-based Nicaraguan Rafael Castillo, turned out to be a tough enough customer and provided an interesting puzzle to solve for the young Mancunian early on. Zelfa oozed quality and power at times in the opening couple of rounds, but was also slightly over-eager to finish the job, chasing down Castillo and not quite timing some of his best shots. However, by the fourth, the Barrett body shots were really starting to take their toll, and Castillo began to crack. The Barcelona fighter couldn't stem the tide and had to visit the refuge of the canvas for a second time to see out the round. At the end of the fourth, Castillo was pulled out of the fight on medical advice, having soaked up more than enough punishment for one evening.
I was hitting with some big shots to the head, and I kicked myself because I was trying to throw it for too much instead of just popping it, boom. But got carried away. I felt my power too much. As soon as I landed, I thought, it's gonna go this guy. But it's a learning curve. I know that just keep picking, like a woodpecker, just keep picking and picking and picking. Eventually there'll be a hole in the tree. So yeah, I got the win, but wasn't how I wanted it to be really. But it's boxing, man. Boxing.
He needs a few more of this kind of fights, just so you can learn. Like today, you learn something. So we're always learning. But another 4 or 5 fights down the line, then you'll be ready for anything. Really.
The final fight of the night threw up a surprise as popular local cruiserweight Sam Best lost his unbeaten record against Polish trier Krzysztof Golek. The Newcastle man survived a torrid last few moments of the fight, but still went down narrowly on the scorecards. A lack of conditioning looked like a major factor in the Geordie's first defeat. But fitness or lack of it certainly won't be an issue anytime soon for the star of the evening's show. Zelfa Barrett is already back in the gym and working across the festive period to prepare for a big 2017. He's a dedicated and talented young fighter and certainly someone to watch here on BoxNation.